Have you ever wondered how a university's brilliant ideas for, say, saving the planet actually make it out of the lab and into the real world? Because, let's be honest, a lot of the time, they just don't. Well, today we're looking at a really fascinating blueprint designed to bridge that exact gap, turning all that academic vision into some powerful community action.
So first things first, what exactly is Planetarium? Well, the name is pretty clever. It's a mix of planetary and IIUM, which stands for the International Islamic University Malaysia. This is their dedicated hub, a center for both research and, this is the key part, action, all focused on planetary survival and, sustainable well-being for everyone.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the Institute's core philosophy and its 4 main pillars of action. Then we'll get into that classic challenge. How do you get ideas from the campus out to the community? From there, we'll break down the partnership blueprint they created to solve that very problem. And finally, we'll look at what this whole collaborative model means for the future.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning, with the foundation of Planetiium. Because this isn't just about spreadsheets and data. It's an institute that is deeply, deeply rooted in a holistic philosophy. And right at the heart of that philosophy is this core principle called Sejahtera. Yeah, you could think of it as just holistic well-being. It's a concept that frames taking care of the environment not just as a practical thing to do, but as a deep moral and even spiritual duty. And that one idea really shapes their entire approach to everything.
So how do you take a big, beautiful philosophy like Sejahtera and turn it into actual real-world work? Well, Planetiium does it by translating that idea into action through 4 key pillars. Let's check them out.
First up, we've got climate action. And this isn't just theory, okay? It's about creating tangible strategies, like how do you actually run a low-carbon campus and improve climate governance right from the ground up.
Second is food security, and their main strategy here is something they call frugal innovation. It's this awesome idea of creating resilient food sources using really clever, low-cost, and accessible solutions. Think maximum impact, but with minimal resources.
The third pillar is health empowerment, which is all about a simple truth. You just can't have healthy people without a healthy planet. So this pillar focuses on that vital link, especially when it comes to more vulnerable communities.
And finally, the 4th pillar, biodiversity conservation. This one is all about safeguarding local ecosystems. Everything from protecting species right there on campus to restoring these super important coastal habitats.
And look, this isn't just talk. These pillars are already in motion. We're talking about really cool flagship projects like vertical aqua farming, hands-on coastal protection work, super innovative waste-to-resource programs, and even a major conference called iPlanet that brings experts together from all over the world.
So the university campus itself becomes this kind of living lab where all these ideas can be tested out. But that brings us to the central challenge, really for any academic institution.
How do you actually take all that brilliant research and all those successful campus pilot programs and break them out beyond the university walls to create real, widespread change in the community? It's that classic disconnect, right? And the answer, at least in this case, is a strategic partnership. Planetarium teamed up with a couple of sustainability expert groups, SustNET and Think Plus, specifically to build that bridge from the lab to the real world.
So what does this partnership actually look like day to day? Well, it's not just some handshake deal. It's a very clear 4-step blueprint for how they're going to collaborate. So this blueprint tackles the problem from a few different angles. They're creating a green campus model to lead by example. They're offering professional certifications to train people out in the community. They're launching a new executive master's program to develop future leaders. And they're helping scale up the best student projects.
And here's where you can really see how the roles break down. It just clicks. The partners, SustNET and Think Plus, they bring the industry frameworks, the assessment tools, and access to financing. And the university? It brings the academic rigor, that living lab campus for testing everything, and of course, that deep connection to the local community. See? Each side provides exactly what the other one is missing. It's kind of a perfect match.
But how do they make sure all these projects are actually, practical? Well, a key tool they use is called the P5 framework. It basically forces every project to answer some crucial questions about the 5 Ps. Is there a viable product? Is the process sound? Does it actually benefit people? Is it good for the planet? And can it create prosperity? It's like a reality check, a simple filter to make sure academic ideas can actually survive in the real world.
What all of this comes together to create is a really powerful new model for the future of universities. It's something we can call the communiversity.
Yeah, this communiversity approach, it actively blurs those lines that usually separate a university from the community right outside its gates. It ends up creating this amazing feedback loop where campus research solves real community problems, and in turn, community needs help drive new, relevant research. It's an incredibly powerful synergy.
And this quote just captures it perfectly. It's an ecosystem thinking model where waste from the mahalla or hostels becomes a resource for their vertical aqua farming. I mean, how cool is that? It's practical, it's circular, and it directly connects the campus to a sustainable solution. That is the model in a nutshell.
Which leaves us with a final, really powerful question to think about. We've seen this blueprint work at one university, but what if this communiversity model could be replicated pretty much anywhere? Could this be the key to unlocking all that academic innovation to solve local problems all over the world?